Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me again? Just out of curiosity. Okay, cool. You guys can hear me. I'm loading the game back up, so we're getting there. Super sorry about the Canadian winter strikes again. I honestly don't know what it was. It said a DirectX crash is what it was. I don't know. It has occasionally happened to me in Final Fantasy, and I'm not sure. I know, like, I've got a what I got not NVIDIA, but the AMD graphics cards, and there's certain games that they perform very well in. Actually, they perform very well in terms of FPS, but they sometimes crash, and not great. So, it's not great sometimes, but I don't know. Let's see. All right. Do we have things? Okay. Okay. Did we do it? Are we back? Can you guys see the game? Can you hear my voice? Can you talk and chat? Are all three things working? Let me know. Yep. Okay. People seem to say it's going well. I'm gonna add this person to my friends list. I'm sorry for the delay. And let's just not touch everything. Let's hope we're good. I guess we're gonna have to go back through this, unfortunately. Yes, and nothing to say. I love it, Patrick. Alright. Hopefully we're not plagued by this all day long. We've been very fortunate so far, actually, never to have a crash during a stream. But thank you all for staying.
I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
Let's go. I'm just going to skip to where we were.
Understand. With my I should stress that this is a temporary measure, quite the opposite. That in light of...
Just skipping to where we were. Don't worry, I'm not just skipping through cutscenes.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
Was wondering what happened. Yeah, I was wondering too, because my screen just went dark and I thought it was the actual end of the cutscene, and then I noticed what happened. And fortunately, I didn't need to restart my computer or anything, but this is all right. Can we get a tiny blue alliance raid? Just Csaw and 23 of his closest victims. You know how much we're gonna die. Yeah, there's gonna be more stuff like that, I think, in the future. I mean, obviously we had a lot of fun doing the coils, although it was, you know, easy mode. So we'll have to try some hard stuff and see how it goes from there.
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited. Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number question our methods.
Yeah, it's hard to get everyone's like agreeance on one way of solving problems. I get that, Emmerich. I get that.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
Yeah, just violence again in the streets.
It has already begun.
Oh, there you
And
go.
that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
Oh, you guys are talking about the free company or Shell Link discussion again. Yeah, it's tough for sure. And we had this discussion, I think, in another live stream, and we've talked about it on Discord as well. One of the biggest concerns is spreading myself so thin that I'm not talking anywhere. And people on Discord will already kind of vouch for this, although I do talk on Discord sometimes. And I do reply to direct messages. It's very far and few between. And that with replying to YouTube, like at the end of the day, as a content creator, my that's only on YouTube, I need to try and focus primarily on talking on YouTube. And then I'd say Discord, and then I'd say in-game, I try and talk with people too. So the more of that I do, the harder. I think ideally, like, and I realize if it's an in-game guild, it doesn't necessarily have to be all on me or anything like that. Like, I think I'd need some support from people to make it work, but I'm not against it. But yeah, it is only the server, I think, that can be the free company, which makes it a little challenging.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
Yeah, what's our next step here?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Okay. We look so cute.
You would speak with Vidofnir then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard.
Do you plan to do the 3 Heavensward raids? And Yuriko says there are more than 3, unless you mean just the Alliance raids. So I think that the main one I'm looking forward to doing is the Alexander raid. I think it would be a raid, right? With like 8 people? Unless I'm crazy. I do hope to do like all of the content, but I need to kind of just pick some and just keep pushing, because like the speed I'm going at, if I wanted to complete everything as well before moving on, we'd be in Heavensward for a really long time. So I think I'll do some now and then come back and do some later as well. I think that's the plan.
Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this way?
Just the nod. He likes the nod.
Thank you, my friends.
Yeah, he called us his friends.
Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
Yeah, I meant the Alliance raids. The Alliance raids are the 24-man raids, right?
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow?
I love the
Tomorrow
music.
in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens.
Actually, a super big fan of the sort of narration.
Yet while we dared to
Like, I
hope,
think it's really cool.
deep within his lair, the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph.
Just sleeping. Just chilling. Oh.
As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Oh my god, I was so scared when it went to the black screen again that I was crashing. We're good though, we're alive. Ugh, I love the narrator. I think that's something that this game does really cool compared to like a lot of, or really well, I guess, I don't know, really cool is not like a, a descriptive sentence. It does really well compared to a lot of other games. It makes it, like it's a little touch that makes the story have such emphasis and really focuses you on what to pay attention to. It frames things, right? And I think that's really cool. Got a lot of people back here, that's awesome. Where are we going? Oh, we only have to go right here. Everyone's just chilling, I love it. Look at people just cheering me on, I love it. Confess myself. Alright. I shall see to my preparations. Where do we need to go? Dun, 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 dun. It'll be so sad when we don't have the background music of Ishgard, like in the next expansions. It's gonna be real sad. Look at her, she waved at me, so cute. Just making sure my stream health is doing well, because, you know, of the craziness. I think it looks like we're good. Alex's YouTube says, what server are you on? It's Goblin. I'm sorry I said it so weird, but it's what it is. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. I feel like she could have just come to the meeting if we're gonna tell her everything anyways. Like, we went to the secret place to talk with Emmerich about secret stuff, and now we're sharing it in, like, a bar, which seems problematic. We should have signed some non-disclosures. Alright. BH5432 says, the next expansion have their own awesome music, Shadowbringers especially. Yeah, I guess, like, that's it. Like, you're always going to be nostalgic about past music, but, like, there's always new, greater music to enjoy. Speaking of which, there's a announcement coming up, isn't there, soon? I'm sure a lot of you are excited for that. And like a lot of people are saying it's gonna be the announcement maybe for the next expansion. Is that true? Is that the rumors on the street? 5th of February. Yeah, that's what I saw too. And how long in Final Fantasy World does it take from announcement of the expansion usually to like release? Like how long is that time frame? I think for WoW it's usually, is it a year or is it more? I'm trying to think. All right. Ooh, look at all those tasty treats we get. Oh, we have to choose? I have to choose. I'm gonna choose which one tastes the best. I'm gonna go for a hot chocolate even though it might not be best for me. Usually a bit over half a year, usually like 8 to 10 months. Okay, interesting. Alright, oh, we got another friend's request. I like streaming because that's how I make all my friends. The friends request pour in during streams and I love it. I think it's also because like it's super hard to catch me like in game, so people are like, ha, I finally have them. Alright, we are going out into the world. The trailer only gives hints, though I was surprised on the amount of twists the story took. So should I avoid watching any kind of trailer that comes out of this event? Is that what people think? Do you guys think I should steer clear of anything related to it? Sadly, yes. Yeah, probably. Alright. It's gonna be so hard, but no, I like it's probably best. Yes, you should avoid the trailer. Spoilers abound, yeah. It's my own fault. Oh my god, did you see how much trouble that was giving me? Lucia. Oh my god, yes, we lost Lady Iceheart during that fight. I forgot. Oh, that's so sad. Well, actually, with the speed you play, you might forget what's in the trailer by the time you get to those spoilers. And it sounds like a joke, but I do kind of forget. Like, I did watch, like, the Heavensward trailer was what originally got me really excited in Final Fantasy XIV, and like I watched it and I did like a reaction video and then I started playing the game, and now I actually don't remember much of what's in the trailer. So it's not the craziest thing you just said. All right, let's roll. Where are we supposed to go? I'm just gonna teleport around because that's how I like to roll. There will 100% be spoilers. Yeah, okay. I'll avoid it. I'll avoid it. I'll do my best. I think that's like one of the common... Okay, I'm supposed to go up here, and I know there's a way to get up. Like there's like a little staircase somewhere. Right? I'm not crazy. I was gonna say that's one of the main things of being a content creator is choosing what you should and shouldn't watch on YouTube. Because, okay, that's not the staircase. Okay, this way. There's a lot of things like spoilery stuff, obviously, is the whole topic, but then there's also stuff that like frames your point of view before you play it, and people share their opinions, which influences your opinions, and like some of it's really good. Like, you know, I tend to try and support and watch other MMO and Final Fantasy streamers and content creators and listen and reply to their stuff, but I also want to try and form my own opinions before I watch that stuff. So it's kind of a difficult way of going about it. Alrighty. The Drob action trailer should be fine if they are apart. And they usually are apart, so maybe I'll watch that. That's an interesting point. Because, yeah, they usually do separate ones, yeah? Ooh, an Aether Current. I sense a great power within you. Yes, you will make a suitable adversary. Our younglings must learn the hardship of battle. You will find them just beyond the tower. Go, hold nothing back. Okay. All these dragons chilling. Ooh, cutscene. Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Ysel. Ysel? Csaw, we need to get you flight unlock in all of these zones. I think I'm close on a lot of zones, but I think I have it in some zones too. I'm not entirely sure. But this one, I do not know. Pray forgive us this unannounced visit. Vidonfir? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all the names. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir? We're gonna go with Vidofnir. I am come as an envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed, you may speak, knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war, but now we know the truth. That King Thoradin and his knights 12 did willfully betray and murdered the great worm Ratakskor, shattering the peace between our peoples. Just call the dragon Tibbs. Vidofnir. Okay, Vidofnir. I like it. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Ysel. Ratat-Tosker. People are gonna hate me. I do my best. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Ysel once did, and we must make the dream a reality as she could not. We humbly beseech you, what did we call it? Vidofnir? Vidofnir. Joins, I'll get it, once I get it in my mind, Vidofnir. Join hands with us in friendship once more before the eyes of the people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. We're gonna have a dragon party, I like it. I have heard your request, knight, however, I cannot give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter, consider my sire, he must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of this worm. I wonder if he's gonna have us do, or she's gonna have us, is it a male or female dragon? I don't know, it doesn't matter. I wonder if we're gonna have to do some odd task. I believe we will. Chat now exists only as a pronunciation guide for Csaw. Yeah, it's pretty true. It's pretty true. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up upon peace for want of patience. Ha! Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon. My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith until we meet again. I think Final Fantasy dialogue is the scariest to read out loud on stream because it's like, it's got a very different manner of speaking, and I think it's cool, but it is challenging. There are a lot of words that you do not use in regular, or at least I don't. I don't know if you guys are going around talking, you know, saying forthwith and stuff like that, but I don't. All right, what are we doing? What is up? We need to go... A lot of this is Old English, yeah. Which I'm assuming I can't be the only one who doesn't use Old English all the time. Oh yes, we all sound like that day to day. Get your Shakespeare. Oh, I was so bad at Shakespeare in high school. It was so bad. I mean, first off, I'm not the most comfortable reader when it comes to out loud, like, reading. I just don't. One of the things me and my wife did a lot during quarantine was we would pick a book and read it together, and we'd take turns reading it to each other. And it was a really fun task because you get to, like, it's like a private book club of some sort where you just discuss it, the two of you. But we quickly discovered that her ability to read aloud was much... Oh, was I supposed to do it up there? I am furious. I'm actually not furious, but, like, I have to find my way back up here now. But yeah, so we quickly discovered that my ability to read aloud was not as good as hers. Or at least she made it very, very, very clear. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I'm sorry for the delay in finding this. At least they have the marker saying it's up there. Like, I remember back in other games when they didn't have that. Wait. Breaking the cycle. Yeah, that's what we're on. I was getting confused. I will admit I've used some words from Final Fantasy in normal conversations. What words have those been? I'd like to know. Is it up here? Yeah, it's up here. Gosh, I went right past it probably. God, the difference in camera angles between Lalafels and other characters is wild. Yeah, it probably is. But we're cute. Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I'm surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught it will come of it remains to be seen. However, mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Old English and wow, that reminds me of Oxhorn. Is it... So, like, because this game is probably first written in Japanese and then translated to English? I actually have no idea. Like, maybe they just handled them separately. But is the Japanese dialogue, is it like an old English version of Japanese? Like, is it our old Japanese? Like, is it a different... And I apologize if I'm using, like, the wrong terms to describe what I'm trying to ask, but is it a older version of Japanese dialect? Or how does that work? Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Shylan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in searching for our missing comrades. It's written in Japanese and English at the same time. Okay, they do the old English on purpose. The Japanese dialogue isn't like that unless for some specific characters. So it's more for the English translation or English version that they choose this. Interesting. Have they, I'm sure have they discussed why they made that choice? Like, is it to make it feel more more fantasy and more like different worldly? Is that like kind of the plan? Or then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. The Japanese isn't Old English. Okay. The Japanese has much less flavored language. It's pretty much standard. Interesting. Because like I think the English is interesting, but I do know of friends, like with some of my friends would just flat out probably not be able to play the game because it's in this like language, like because of the different words and stuff. They'd be like, I don't know, it would bother them too much, I think. But maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. Suffice to say, I would be willing to make 1,000 such journeys to ensure the sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alphino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. Cute. Might be the current setting is like, okay, so like the setting of the game. Yeah, I agree, that makes sense. Another time, another place. So it would seem we have time to greet the scholar after all. How delightful. I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I'm excited to find Minfilia and Thancred. That's awesome. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Yistola in Idlescheiter. Whew, so much reading. I knew this was going to happen when I started doing the main scenario quest again, but it's enjoyable. I'm excited to be progressing because this kind of means I'll start progressing on the main scenario quest in the videos as well on Saturdays, which, spoiler alert, there won't be a video this Saturday. This is our piece of content for this Saturday, so if you were expecting a video, that's how it's going. But yeah. Let's go back to here. Yeah, the language is it's a very interesting topic that like is such a question in Final Fantasy XIV, and just other games don't really think about it. Doubleheader Sunday. Probably not. As I've mentioned, I'm able to keep pace with the one Saturday release and the occasional Wednesday release for like general MMO stuff. But I don't know if I can do a double header Sunday. That would mean pretty much getting off this and doing nothing but video work, which isn't the end. I enjoy doing the video work. I think if I'm forcing myself to do videos, they often aren't as enjoyable for the audience or for myself.